Welcome back, guys. All right, so we're continuing on with some more media analysis. There is a document that I've posted about deconstructing an advertisement. This is just a guide to help you think more deeply about some of the questions that you can ask under the 5 features of the ads. So we're not going to spend too much time on this because we're going to move into some of the other ads as well that are in the example ads to take a look at. But first of all, make some observations. Just take some notes. Write down your thoughts. And then these are all prompts that can help you ask the right questions. Okay, so here are some question prompts. So evaluate the aesthetics. That's the style and the content of the ad. So you can think about, are there people in the ad? What genders are represented? Maybe it's race, maybe it's age, their style. What about their facial expressions? Think about camera angles if it's movie-based. Okay, was it far or close to the subject? Why did they put the camera there? Was it above their heads or at the eye level or below? Okay, so this is video features, but you want to think about camera angles when you're dealing with video content. Again, lighting. This is also video based. Okay, so is it a natural light? Is it artificial? Why did they do it that way? Are there certain parts highlighted and others are not? Why? Where are the shadows? Okay, how big are they? What colors are used? Are they bright? Is it black and white? Is there a sharp contrast? And always you're asking every time why. Then think about the text. Copy just means writing. Okay, think about the fonts. Is there more than one type of font used? Think about the size of the font, the color. Do they use more than one color? Think about the content and the messaging. So not just the colors that they choose, but what words did they actually write? Which words are in larger text? Which words are in smaller text? And so on. Next, you want to think about purpose. Okay, what's the purpose? Okay, first of all, figure out what's the product being sold. Do you find it appealing, and why or why not? Who's the target audience? What feelings or emotions does the ad try to link or associate with the product, and did that work? Why or why not? So always asking why did they do it that way, and then the why or why not part is about effectiveness, which we looked at before. So effectiveness has to do with evaluation, right? You're making a judgment call. Was it successful or not? All right, step 3 is getting into now the ideology, okay, the messaging and the assumptions. So this is going to help you get deeper into the ideology. Now, there may be assumptions that are not direct in the ad, but the messages that are produced from those assumptions are direct. So from the messaging, you can see implied assumptions. So for example, if they only show young teenagers playing video games, the implied assumption is old people don't play video games, right? So again, common things to look at are gender, race, and class, that's not all you need to look at, but those are three very, very common things, especially in the social justice culture that we're living in. These are three areas that people like to focus on. So you're thinking about things like stereotypes, okay, and identity issues that might be reinforced in any of those three categories. Now, think about the consequences, which is also have to do with the effects of these messages. Are they long-term or short-term? So maybe it's, vote Trump is what the ad is saying. Are there consequences to their messaging? Are there any unrealistic expectations that the messages create? Maybe physical beauty perfection is one common one, which we've seen a reaction against in popular media, but it used to be really bad. How do the messages in this ad counter or undermine social change? So are they for or against cultural trends? You could ask that question. Is the ad socially responsible? How or how not? What does it mean for an ad or a company to be socially responsible? Okay. So in a sense, there's an awareness for the audience that's necessary to judge or evaluate the media, which is what this paragraph talks about. So 4 steps to help you dig much deeper into the ads. Now let's take a look at a few ads. I have not written the explanations on this version of the document, but I believe I posted another one on our site where you can see a write-up with some of the background. Okay, so thinking about our 5 features, what's the product? What's the purpose of this ad? Let's think about the text. Okay, something missing. So clearly this is a keyword, right? Don't forget your poppy. What's a poppy? Here it is, right? So this is to celebrate war veterans. And where do you normally wear that poppy? Well, you pin it to above your heart. Okay, so we have red for the poppy. We have red for our hearts, which is where the poppy is located, right? Right here, right over your heart. But what's the focus of the ad? We don't see the person's face here. So why? What's the focus? Clearly the most dominant thing is the missing poppy. The text is important. Okay, that's key too, because it points out what's missing and it leads our eye over here. And the word forget reinforces that. So who's the target audience? Anyone who wears a poppy. It should be anyone and everyone. And by leaving the face of the person out, in a way they've, somewhat made it more universal, but from the formal attire, I think men are a primary target, and probably older men, but anyone who wants to honor the veterans. And very small, actually, here is the advertiser, some form of legion. It's like a men's club group. Okay, so what's the effect? It should, make us feel bad not to forget to wear our poppy. And expose, like, you're heartless, you don't have a heart. Notice the color's different over here, underneath. All right, next one. Bruciani, Family Craft Bakers and Cafe. Free Wi-Fi now available. So, what's the purpose of this, and what's the dominant feature? Well, for sure we've got this brown color, right? That's the main one. Plus there's this white, and there's just 2 tones in this. So why this brown color? Well, connects to coffee. It's coffee colored, right? See if I can get some brown here, sort of. All right, so there's the coffee color, and then the text connects with the whiteness of the cup. And we see thicker lines here, right? Slightly thicker and bigger font. Size is bigger. And we kind of follow actually upward, and then we get here. And we have this faint white here, which is connecting us to the Wi-Fi. So target could be anybody who wants, a cafe with Wi-Fi, but they've blended the Wi-Fi into the coffee, which connects to the whole color palette. So the dominant feature is really this brown coffee feature. And they're pointing out, this is very convenient. We have good coffee and we have Wi-Fi. Okay, the next one is interesting. It says casino, and then fatal attraction, master trap. And very creatively, we have a neon casino sign. But who's gambling? Well, it's actually a mosquito, bug, right? So what's the product? And what does the text show us? Well, here's the product, master trap. It's a bug light to kill bugs, right? It kills. And so what's the key text here? Well, here it is. Fatal means deadly. Deadly attraction. Who's attracted to this light? The bugs like the light, right? And they hang out there. And then zzz, they're dead. So actually they've made a comparison between gambling is bad. So target audience would not be people who love gambling or the casinos, right? The casino people don't like this ad. But they've made the bug the one gambling because he's going to be the one having this deadly reaction to it. All right, so target audience, anyone who wants to obviously kill bugs in their backyard or something. There's not necessarily a specific gender or people group here, but some might not like that ad. Next one's interesting. Right away, the dominant thing should just jump out at us, which would be, what do you think? Well, yeah, the color, right? Color red is huge. So when we see this like that, what does it usually refer to? Someone's life dates. And it says, buckle up, stay alive, and it's from the government of Quebec. But the seatbelt is blocking out this other number here. Maybe it says 2002. But is it there? Well, yeah, it is. There is something written. So when we have, something written like that, it's on a gravestone, normally. And so that means this person is dead. The seatbelt would have saved their lives. The seatbelt blocks this part. So you don't need to have the dead date if you have the seatbelt. And you have one more for, you can do on your own, and another one for women's golf that you can do on your own.